Noff Clipper Hi, friends. Darth Momo here, and we're going to talk about the final episode of Season 1 of The Acolyte. I don't even remember what it was called. I don't even know if it said or not. I remember the description just said, watch the episode now. So, this was the big Season 1 finale. We get all of our questions answered, and we get a bunch more questions asked. Basically, the plot is it ends up back at Brendok. Surprise, surprise. It's just basically kind of a tug of war the rest of the episode, or for most of the episode, between May, Osha, the Stranger, Chimere, and then Soul. And it's just basically, like I said, just a big tug of war, and it ends up with, surprisingly, Osha killing Soul after she finds out that Soul killed her mother, and then Soul dies. And the Osha commits to train with Chimere in exchange for him letting May go. I'm presuming that means because he was going to try to kill her or something like that. It seems like that was what was alluded to in the previous episodes between the two of them. And Chimere uses the Force to wipe Osha's mind, to wipe May's mind, and then. They escape. They go back to their island, and they decide to start training together while the Jedi Council takes May prisoner. She has literally no recollection of anything that's happened. She doesn't even know who Osha is, apparently. I think that was part of the Force wipe. And then Vernestra has to report to the Senate. They're starting to crack down, and she has to confess what went on. She pretty much throws Soul under the bus. Explains what happened on Brendok, and that Soul slowly started to get consumed by the guilt of what happened and killed all the other Jedi, or was responsible for their killing. And then the Senate pretty much says the Jedi have to submit to external review, and then Vernestra goes to speak to Master Yoda, and the episode ends. So, a few things to talk about, actually, lots to talk about. First off, it does end off on a cliffhanger. I do think a season 2 is very likely. I'll do a quick short on that in a week or two about why I think season 2 is pretty likely. There's been a theory going around that planet was actually from, that the Sith guy is on, is actually from Legends. It was a planet where I think it was where Plagueis met Darth Tenebrous, his master, and in the episode we see, I'm guessing, someone who's Darth Plagueis. So I'm not sure how this factors in. The theory is, in Legends, Plagueis' master Tenebrous was secretly training a second apprentice. So if I had to guess, Chimere is the secret apprentice, and Plagueis' master is training both Plagueis and Chimere. We'll see how that plays out in a presumed season 2. I'm guessing it seems to be confirmed that Chimere, he said he was a rogue Jedi. He was Vernestra's apprentice, or former apprentice. So I'm not sure how much Vernestra knows. I'm not sure what she's going to tell Yoda. I don't think she knows that he's a Sith, though. And the only person who explicitly heard the name Sith was Soul, and Soul's dead. So as for the continuity with the Phantom Menace, I think we're pretty safe on that. As for what I thought of the overall episode, I'm gonna give it a 6.5. It had some solid action, it had some fun moments, but there was just a few things that kind of threw me off. I don't know why the tracker dude, Basil, I don't know why he sabotaged the ship. That was just really, really weird, and it wasn't explained, so I'm really confused on that. As for Chimere, I know he's still trying to get under the skin of Osha and try to recruit her, but whereas in the 6th episode he seemed more manipulative, trying to exploit her to get her on his side, now he seemed just a little bit too nice, like he was playing along with her for, the team up. I know obviously he still probably had the goal of trying to convert her, or at least take her on as his apprentice. But he just seemed like a little too nice for a Darksider. It didn't even seem like it had a hint of manipulation to it. It just felt like it was, hey, yeah, I'll be your friend, So I was a little on edge about that. How it ended up, though, I was a little shocked by the killing off of Soul. Soul, I think, was probably the strongest character in this show, so we'll see what happens. Like I said, there's still a lot to go with. I think I really like the Chimera character, so we'll see where that goes. All in all, it was all right. The show was all right. I think that's where I'll leave it at. It was I'll say it was a fun finale, and I definitely would like to see a season 2. But as for the show overall, I'm gonna probably do a series review or a season review next week. I've talked about each episode individually, week by week. So now we're going to talk about how they all work as a whole, and I've got some thoughts about that. As for anything else related to the Acolyte on the channel, I think I'm going to do a video probably, not this coming Saturday, but next weekend, about May and Osha and what we know so far and whether that diminishes Anakin, if that affects him or not, and how that impacts him and his whole circumstances regarding his birth. Otherwise, like I said, for the episode, there's some things been set up, but I think the arc of this season's been put to rest. So we'll see what happens as far as a possible season 2. Otherwise, thank you guys for joining in. Darth Momo out. I'll see you next week for a season 1 review, and may the Force be with you, always. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. If you liked the video, comment down below and hit that like button. Oh, and check out some of my other videos. I'm sure you'll find them in the light.